course, to the next level. That's my take on it.
I'm going to go in a whole nother direction with that. I believe intimacy don't have to have any connection with sex or sexuality, because you could be intimate with your friend. You know, that very good person. Because I have a friend right now who I've been knowing since kindergarten. If anything happened to her or we don't talk, I do feel like I'm lonely if I don't hear from her, or I miss her. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with me wanting to go with her in a sexual way, but intimacy could be with anyone, your children, your family members, and your relationship. So just building that where you are able to sacrifice with meaning for an individual is what intimacy is. Someone who intrigues you, who you want to be around, who your spirit is saying, I want to hang out with them today, type of thing. Because I know a lot of individuals that it's only sex, but I can go. I don't even have to watch a movie with you. I don't have. I'm not going to think about you all day. I'm not going to.
You have no attachment.
No
to that person,
attachment.
right?
So just building that, and I'm going to say friendship, so it could be more of an understanding. Just building that friendship with that individual where you can say, even if we're not being sexual, even if we're not doing something, we are still intimate together. We can still sit in the bathroom together and still talk. You know, those type of intimacy where I can do something and won't be embarrassed in front of you.
Right.
It's already past that point. You kind of see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of things that you can do in friendships. You can walk around naked and don't feel embarrassed. You can do that with your friends, right? If y'all was sharing a hotel room in Vegas and y'all needs to get ready, well, at least I can. I could walk out the bathroom and be like, "Hey, pass me my bra out my suitcase or something,"
Yeah,
and it won't be nothing
I
where.
know some people are comfortable
And
that
that's
way.
well, I could be comfortable because
I think I'm comfortable that way. If it's like a group of my friends,
exactly,
or my, family,
and
I
that's
walk out
and
like,
that's
hey,
that intimacy because you know that
you
they're
trust
not
them.
looking
Yep,
at you
like that.
sexually.
Exactly.
It's a comfortability that you have with that individual.
Yep, I agree.
That makes it very unique and intimate in that situation, and building that type of relationship with who with your partner is what's important. And that's my take on it.
Okay.
Well,
So we do have a question. Can I just throw it out here? Oh, no, I'm going to let you finish and then I'll come back to this because this question will take us to a different topic. So go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, intimacy is kind of like what Rosie Perez was trying to say in White Men Can't Jump when she was like, I don't want to screw, I want to make love. Like, it is having a connection. I'm a Taurus, and so we're into that kind of thing. We're into touch. We're into, talking, saying different things, and food. We're into like smells. We're into like the ambiance, and that's intimacy when it's just you and that person. But the biggest part to it is having somebody that you want to do that with. You can't do that with everybody. It's a one person that you guys keep growing in that sense. So intimacy is everything, all the senses, all kinds of things, whatever it is that gets you to that place.
I agree. Yeah. So yeah, and for me, my take on intimacy is I ditto a lot of what you guys said too. It's like being completely and utterly comfortable with that person, and you don't feel judgment. You just feel like home, like that's the place that you're supposed to be. Like you feel so connected with that other person, whether it's watching a movie, laughing at a joke. It's just so completely connected. It's intimacy to me. So, so we have some comments here.
Come on with it.
And
E.
so Eric has a comment. So Eric wants to go back to talking about probably if it's the responsibility of the man. He says, "How would a man know if a woman appears to be losing control? Me being a man will feel that I've done my job, but at the end of the day, can leave that woman feeling dissatisfied because she didn't orgasm and I didn't know. And are we as men supposed to ask the woman if she orgasmed?"
Yeah, ladies, I'll let y'all answer that one.
I just think I honestly don't think it's the man's responsibility to make the woman have an orgasm come or whatever it is. he's not going to know. And I don't think that's fair to put that kind of responsibility on him alone. It is supposed to be something that, I mean, because my thing is, if we're in the middle of something, I want you to be able to get yours too. And so I'm not about to beat myself up if you didn't, but we're going to figure that thing out. You know what I mean? We're going to take our time and figure that thing out. So I don't think it's his responsibility, and I don't even want men to have that kind of pressure. I just think that it takes time. And if you are willing to take that time with that person, then that's all the responsibility that you would have to bring to it.
Dr. Carroll?
I believe I have a different perspective on this because
The question is, what should the man ask?
Yeah. So how is he supposed to know if we've had an orgasm or not? Even though you're shaking around, he's still not sure. This is what he said. He's still not sure, and should a man actually ask? And then the second question is, and do y'all even know if we have them or not?
I don't think
Or
that it
faking it.
is the male responsibility. I am simply going to say this is responsibility of the woman, because when have we came to this understanding that we should not be trying to come our damn selves? Because I would not be having sex with anybody if I'm not in the mindset that I'm finna come before we start. So that means I'm going to move. I'm going to be responsible to make sure that it's an ending to my situation. So the biggest question to us women is when do we decide that we should only be worrying about the pleasure of the male while we're having sex? Because I just never understood that, because I don't care if I have the worst face in the world, I'm going to move my body to make him be in the spot that I need him to be in, because I'm not finna be here for no reason when I had other stuff to do. No, I'm just being honest. If I gotta work in the morning, I'm not finna be here all day.
Do all that though, as women, as we fake it, is he supposed?
But that's
to ask?
our fault. Why is we faking something?
I think
I'm just
some
gonna
women
be
may not feel
honest.
comfortable to say, "Hey, I didn't get it," because I think sometimes they think that the man's ego is so big and that he really does feel like he's responsible for it. And I think a lot of women have felt like the men are responsible for our orgasms, and if we don't get it, we're scared to say, "Hey, I didn't really get anything
And that's
tonight."
still that's our flaw in our
I
thinking.
agree.
Because at the end of the day, when did we as women say that we should only be worrying about the pleasure of the male during this situation?
I think we're taught that though. A lot of women are taught that. I know that's what we're thinking about when you talk about what you're thinking about. Most women, when they're doing it, they're thinking about, "Oh, I wonder, does he feel? Does it feel good to him? Is he being satisfied? Is he being pleased?" All of our energy is on how he's feeling and not on how we feeling. And truth be told, some men, their energy is on just how they feeling. Their energy ain't on trying to make us feel, comfortable enough to go there.
I just kind of feel like this, okay? if I'm not about to make him responsible. Like if I realize that you have reached your max, now we about to change positions and we about to do some things, and you owe me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and make this happen. But I'm not about to sit here and prepare like I'm about to do a speech in front of a class of people when we in the middle of something else. I want to make sure, yes, if you reach yours first, then good for you. Now my turn. Let's make it happen. And that's the kind of partner that I enjoy being with.
yeah.
Not someone that's like, okay, I can't do anything else. Give me 2 hours. No. Now there's other parts of you that are active and that are functioning. Let's get this cracking.
Yeah, I think it goes down to communication, though, really, because we just talked about intimacy, being able to be yourself, not feeling judged. Right. And I think if you're in a relationship where you really do not feel like you can tell your partner, this is what I want, or you guys are having a conversation about sex, not as it's happening, but let's talk about it and let's be honest. Are you fulfilled, or are there some things that you want me to do and I'm not doing? All of that. If you cannot have that conversation, or if you've never had that conversation, you just get into bed and you just let it go where it go, then I don't think you have a very intimate, close relationship. Right. And that's something I think as women, we learn over time. We learn how to find our voice. We learn how to say what we really want and what we feel like we deserve. But a lot of women are not there yet, to your point.
Me as a man, by me being intrigued with the female anatomy at a young age, I'm a pleaser. And I think some of us men need to get that, you know what I'm saying, concept. And the reason why I say that is because us men, we need to take ourselves out of the equation. Because I think it is very selfish that a man only thinks about himself and he don't get that woman right. So, you know, in my relationships or my past relationships, you know, I talk to my woman while we're, you know what I'm saying, in the act. Do you like this right here? Do you like this? Does that feel good to you? Is that going to work? How do you want me to do it? You see what I'm saying? I'm going to make
more
sure.
men need to do that.
Yes,
Ask me questions.
while I'm
Women
while
too.
yeah while I'm in
Women
while I'm
too.
in the act of doing it, I'm asking her, do you like this? You know, what is it that you want me to do? You know, do you want me to touch something? Do you want me to lick somewhere? You know, and then once I start learning that from that woman, you see what I'm saying? Then now, every single time I get in the bed with her, I can get her off every time because she has given me the tools that I need that she likes for me to do. So every time I get in there, it's a win-win. Boom, boom,
And you're
boom.
not offended by her.
No,
in-
I need to know that.
instructions or what she
Tell
wants.
me. I need to know that because I don't want to lose you. Tell me that so I can keep you. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't getting you off, you're going to leave. If I'm getting you right, you're going to stay. Come on with it.
Maybe.
I think
Maybe.
another
Maybe. Because it's not just the
Just
physical.
Well, we on that topic. That's all I'm
just
saying.
saying.
I think another thing while we're speaking about orgasms and sexual
My friend right here.
health, you got to make sure individually, you have to make sure you're eating right. You have to make sure you're staying hydrated. And this is just going back into like the medical aspect of it, because you can't get wet. You can't have a healthy sex life if you're not hydrated, if you're not, you know what I mean,
That's
eating
good.
and having the right the right amount of energy. You don't want to have a bunch of sugar and then you think you about to go in here and do something for any period of time. That sugar crash, you crash. Y'all
That's
done.
good.
That's good to
So
think about.
those are some things that you also need to be mindful of. Having sex or making love or whatever it is not just about the genitals. It's about the whole
picture.
person as a whole.
Yeah, you got to be healthy.
Because we mind, I mean, that goes back into us being mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta
So
be healthy.
Absolutely.
that's good. You saying you need to physically take care of your body.
Yeah.
Drink water,
And-
people.
Right.
You got to be healthy. You got to be
Eat
healthy.
right.
So- You want to ask the next question?
Yeah, what is our next question here?
You got to
Kinda
ask,
talk about
fellas.
how-
You got to ask. Ask her what she like. Ask her what she like and what you want her to do.
Yeah,
Don't
please,
be scared
men,
of it.
ask questions
Come
during the
on
act.
with it.
And women, be courageous enough to share what you want. I think it goes both ways.
But then that goes back. Okay, so that gonna lead me into that. A lot of times we don't know what we want, right? Because going into we gonna talk about shifted and talk about
Okay.
going back to masturbation because that's where you figure out what you want. So 38% of women said that they masturbate compared to 61% of men saying that they masturbate. So going back to getting to know who you are through, let's talk about that because masturbation is such a taboo topic. You know, they say, well, you shouldn't do it. It's wrong. You know, don't spill your seed on the ground. I mean, so let's talk about that. Dr. Carol, what are your thoughts about masturbation?
I think masturbation is healthy and should be done every day.
Roger that.
I'm just I'm
Roger
just
that.
straight
As
to
a
the
public
point.
service announcement.
Right, PSA.
Just straight to the point. Even if you have a partner, have them participate in that, because a lot of us are visual, want to see what's going on. So even if you have your partner there, they are able to get a little bit of a pointer just by watching you, because you
Ooh,
know
I
what
love
you're
to watch.
feeling when you're doing
I
something,
love to watch.
and vice versa.
I
So
like watching.
I would say don't be afraid to do it every day, in my opinion,
I like watching.
because
said
one,
every day?
it helps with stress
Come on with it.
every day.
Preach, pastor.
Um,
Come on with
in
it.
my opinion. And I don't think it should be something that we should be ashamed to do or talk about. You know, it is what it is, and it's so many benefits. If we Google it and
Okay,
look it up,
give us some of those benefits.
it helps with stress.
Okay,
Yeah,
and what
come
else?
You can lose weight. It
From
burns
masturbating?
it burns calories.
Ooh. I
Didn't
think
know
you might
that.
need to do that for a period of time.
Okay, so
That's 30
Stress
minutes,
and
30
It
minutes
burns
masturbation
calories
session.
for real. It helps with sleep.
masturbating helps with sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
If I can't sleep,
And it can help with some types of cancers too. I read a lot on
Yeah,
it.
'cause
as
it
well.
releases those
Yeah.
chemicals.
Yeah.
So
Serotonin, where depression, it helps to lift